Thought Tuesdays. Hi, everybody. I'm Dean Regan, talking to you every Tuesday about New Thought, ancient wisdom principles. Absolutely. And today we're going deeper into abundance. You know about your bank accounts and your penny jars and those things you've been saving for. That's not what we're talking about. Talking about those today would be like talking about a grain of sand on the ocean floor or on the beach floor. That idea of how abundance is manifesting is absolutely huge. We're talking about today this idea of going beyond those material trappings and deep into the vibrational truth of abundance. So what we're talking about is today, abundance is not the paycheck. Abundance is this frequency that unfolds as the paycheck. And when you're aligned with that frequency, this frequency abundance, Rich and I love this part. Money chases you and not the other way around. So this idea of that sense of all of your, your bank accounts, I want to see those grow. I want to see those grow. Well, yeah, they will, but you're looking in the wrong place. Looking at your bank accounts when you're talking about abundance is like wanting to look at a sunset, but only looking at the shadow on the ground. Bring your eyes up to this sense, this feeling tone of infinite abundance. It's not just about having more. It's about being aligned with the divine source. And this divine source is eternal, infinite, and more than enough. Money is just one of the visible ripples of this whole abundance idea. And we've talked about abundance a few times here on New Thought Tuesdays. So for those of you who are joining us in the inner circle, today is even deeper. And for those of you who don't know about the inner circle is a membership community that joins us each Tuesday to discuss these ideas in spiritual practice, personally, confidentially, and even more deeply, so that we can incorporate them with delight and gusto in our life. That's what our New Thought, Ancient Wisdom teachings, that's where our New Thought, Ancient Wisdom teachings are really expanded on, is in the inner circle. So, what if money was just a spark? And the flame is so much bigger. I'm going to ask you a question. Beyond money, where in your life are you experiencing abundance? I have one client that goes through their entire home and talks about all of the wonderful things that they have, that they experience in a sense of abundance, the friends, the relationships, the experiences of creativity. Where are you experiencing abundance? Like I as I've said to you before, I look out my window, my God, there are so many trees, there are so many leaves, there are so many veins on the leaves. There's just so much abundance around me that's unfolding as nature. Where is that abundance unfolding in your life? Take a deep breath. That's the frequency that we're going to. That abundance is a quality of God. And God, you're welcome to call that God idea, whatever you want to call it. Call it something that feels lovely and delicious to you. and allow others to call it what feels lovely and delicious to themselves without resistance. An abundance of acceptance. There's a massive amounts of energy, of abundance in creativity, in connection, in time. Just imagine all of the time that you've experienced in your life. Pardon me. A plethora of time. Ernest Holmes talks in terms of abundance is not something we acquire. It's something we turn into. We tune into. Abundance is a frequency, not a paycheck. Now, what I'm experiencing right now is a question about wholeness. In that here I am live streaming, and all of a sudden there is a sense of tension in my experience of my voice as I'm talking about abundance. And so in this moment, I'm moving my awareness to the truth that is that Dean Lewis Regan is whole, perfect, and complete. Yes, I took a couple of sips of water. Yes, I'm relaxing. And yes, I'm embracing the sense that love is abundant, that my voice, metaphorical or actual, is absolutely functioning in abundance, and that any appearance to the opposite, I focus simply on that frequency of wholeness, and today that frequency of abundance. I'm tuning into abundance no matter what is present. And that's what Rich and I recommend. That's what we teach. That New Thought Tuesdays idea is to always tune in to the qualities of God, regardless of the appearances that are going on. Abraham Hicks puts it this way. She or they say, your only job is alignment. Physical, psychological, spiritual alignment. When it comes to that frequency of abundance, think of it in terms of a wish fulfilled. That the abundance in my life, the abundance of love, the abundance of wealth, the abundance of divine right relationships, the abundance of a sense of home, the abundance of family is always unfolding in me, as me, and through me. That's the alignment of abundance. And, oh, by the way, this vocal thing seems to have moved into alignment. There was some appearance that took place, and the appearance is that love is present now. And I believe that to be the truth of life, the truth of God. When you're aligned, as Rich and I were talking, the money chases you. It chases you. Allow that. Can you imagine, for those of us who are experiencing a divine desire for, I just want more money. I'm asking you to take a deep breath. Don't even look at that right now. Imagine yourself as a piece of energy, a vibratory tone expressing. And that vibration that is the expression of you is not limited by this physical body that you're walking around in. That idea of abundance is ever present. look to it, look at it, and look through any other appearances. And when I think about the idea of money chasing me, as opposed to me chasing money, the whole key that, and Rich and I were talking about this, the whole key of that is the delight. Because for a good portion of my life, I did not have the idea that money was chasing after Dean Regan. And now, not so much. There's plenty, there's abundance. What are you making more real? Lack or source? Are you focusing on the issues that are coming up or the truth? Are you focusing on the truth first and foremost and coming at perhaps the issues that come up with the context of God is love, God is wisdom, God is truth, Spirit is joy, Spirit is abundance, Spirit is peace? It's from that context that we can see the source with the capital S is present for us, always present for us. It really comes down to faith. There it is, that word again, that whole thing about faith. Faith is the doorway in. Faith is the permission slip. Faith allows you to see the abundance that you've not seen before. Okay, I'm living in the middle of a forest. Yeah, there are trees and they've got leaves. What is it? So, oh yeah, some have got sun on them and some don't. But what about my bank account? The metaphor that I'm bringing up is I'm choosing to see the abundance around me and be delighted by it and allowing it to show up in every aspect of my life. And it is. And then there are times when Dean gets impatient and I go back to my spiritual practice and say, chill out, Regan. Focus on that which you love. In fact, focus on that which you believe. Abundance is part of creation. Creation ignites all that is. It's a cause. It causes all that is to unfold. It's not an effect. So when you're talking about first cause, which is another name for spirit, or scientifically the Big Bang, we're looking at that which is causing this frequency, and we're just grabbing onto it. We have a choice to grab onto whatever frequency we want, whatever vibration we want. Are you wanting that love that brings you happiness and joy and peace? Are you wanting that which brings you not happiness, not joy, and not peace? It's all up to each one of us. We have an abundance of opportunity and an abundance that we can look into. So we're going to go into the inner circle. And Rich sends his regards, by the way. He is often running around the world with his beautiful wife. And we are sending him love and light because I know that he's tuning in later on from a different time zone. We're going to go into the inner circle after the closing prayer. And the inner circle will talk more specifically about this sense of abundance. So, recognizing that there is one life, one intelligence, and one wisdom, one love, that is the aspect of all that is whole, that unfolds as all that is, and I call God. I choose to take this moment to feel, sense, and know that I am one with God, that I am one of God, that God is expressing through me God is expressing as me. And God expresses in all of those manifestations and demonstrations in my experience of wisdom and love and light and abundance. I speak this word in gratitude for our time today on New Thought Tuesdays, recognizing that that idea of abundance tickles me with delight, with possibility, with awareness, with peace, with prosperity, with joy. And in this moment, I am grateful for New Thought Tuesdays and the inner circle. I'm grateful for Rich, and I'm grateful for this time together. And I speak this word knowing the truth for all who listen to this message, that your abundance is absolutely infinite. And I am knowing that about you, and I'm knowing that for you, right here and right now. And so in gratitude, I release this word into the law, knowing that it is done, and so it is done. And together we say, Amen. Thank you for joining us on New Thought Tuesdays. We will see you next week, sending you love and light. Not that you need more, because you got plenty. I'm just